Greetings once more, everybody. Welcome to the show. I hope you've enjoyed yet another intermission. Well, it looks like our intrepid heroes have continued their adventures and have found themselves, well, in the next step of things, having completed their assignment, dealing with those traitorous guards. The most interesting way, they found themselves diving deeper and deeper in the criminal underbelly, something that a guard couldn't do. So, today, join us as our intrepid group heads to Eel's End, the hive of some of the most scummiest, darkest, criminal people in all of Korvosa. So join us as the story continues. And welcome, everybody! So we are playing the Crimson Queen. This last
people besides our characters.
I mean, you did deface a corpse and give it to some
Yeah,
people.
you guys aren't the good people in this situation. I want you to understand that.
We are the good people. We're
No,
just
you're not. You did some
people.
pretty bad shit.
I don't know
No
about
one
you. I'm
got
awesome.
I
You
do not
just
have
already
the word good
dead.
in my alignment.
You kidnapped a dude, guys.
To make sure he didn't get murdered.
I did not kidnap anyone,
Kidnapped.
and I just beat up
So
a
he
corpse.
doesn't get killed.
It's still forceful removal of a person
Sure,
from its
I
domicile,
understand,
my
Kitty.
guy.
but it's not
Adorable
that
kitty.
bad when
I'm
he's not
distracted by Kitty.
when it's to save his own life when he was a terrible human being. Okay,
Kitty.
I only
I was
beat up a
securing
corpse.
his existence.
You only beat up a corpse.
Yeah, I think that's less of a crime, honestly.
I know
Listen,
it's someone we all murdered together, so it's okay.
it's I don't care if it's a crime. Laws don't matter. Okay, it's
The
for
team that murders together stays together.
Look, the city's an anarchy anyway. There are no laws.
Laws are threats.
Listen, there's no L in my alignment. Okay.
Don't eat the microphone, cat.
There's no G in my alignment, so I don't care.
I'm chaotic good.
There may not be an L in your alignment, but there is L's in all of your rolls.
Listen,
Oof.
there's
Oof.
my name has double L's too, which is ironic too. My initials are LL.
So,
Living the high life.
anyway. So yes, a better summary of everything that happens is they finished up with the Cowhammer boys.
Dude, what a name.
Yeah, they really needed to workshop that a little more.
What a fucking name, dude. It's like the level 1 gang from Red Dead Redemption.
They didn't even have any hammers, so it was just a lie.
I
They
never
never
really
know.
Great guys.
They did. They technically had cows and pigs, not
But
part
they
of the
didn't have any
gang.
hammers.
They
They
might have.
weren't hammering
They
cows.
got hammered.
They did. I mean, look, I think I was just
Hammered
lazy
hunger.
and just didn't replace their weapons with warhammers. But I could have given them warhammers. Then they would have been Cowhammer boys.
That may have increased their danger range, to be
It
fair.
wouldn't have. It's worse than a longsword, which is what they had.
Well, it's the same, right? It's times 3 critical.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you gave him a corpse, you got in with the gang, you got to the leader, and then you let the leader know, because he didn't know about the group, beating up and murdering people, that's what they were doing. And it destroyed his very soul.
They deserved it.
And we really
Destroyed
made
his
sure
already fragile soul.
people didn't get harmed here. Okay, we did our best
Well,
to save lives.
More of them should have been made an example, but that's my opinion.
Well, 2 of them are going to be executed, so...
Yeah, and they deserve it.
They were the worst out of the bunch.
Oh, I agree. They totally deserve to be
A
executed.
chance of
But I'm
redemption.
just saying,
Okay?
we didn't have to do it.
It's
We
2
spared
less murders
them.
on our
We
mind.
still have only killed 3 people.
This is true. So anyway, afterwards, you took a little bit of time to yourselves in the city. One of you learned that they were Dampier.
Who's the third?
Hmm?
Oh, right,
Those-
him. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about one of them.
Yep, it's fine.
Forgot about the merchant.
And then, upon returning to the captain of the guards, I actually think he's the commander of the base, it was revealed to you that what's going on here, which is the ambassador to Cheliax is planning on to tell Cheliax, hey, have an embargo against them. Have things go on that's very bad for Korvosa at this point in time. And, well, there's also had been learned that he's doing this out of personal greed rather than actually any kind of, reasonable reason. He wants to basically destabilize the country even more than it already is, and then use that as a opportunity to, spend some money on a land grab and basically install himself as a pseudo-noble in Korvosa.
Oh, so there was a reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I thought. They don't. But Cheliax doesn't know that's his reason. His reason is basically taking advantage of the situation, buying up a lot of property and land, and it doesn't say particularly if he wants to be declared a noble or if it's more just one kind of whatever it is. He wants to take advantage of the situation. Anyway. So the man that's on screen here, Van Carlo Orsiniri, has some knowledge of the area, and basically is escorting you to where Earl's End is, and was going to give you some information about what's going on. He can act. He's basically a person that can act as an informant, but his position in the city probably really can't act to this kind of things. He does believe in Korvosa. He doesn't have a very high of actual nobles in the city. He thinks there's a lot of corruption. But he's the kind of person that understands, Korvosa has to work in a certain way. So, he's the kind of person that's probably doesn't really necessarily support the queen as she is, but won't fight against her because he stabilize Korvosa first and then worry about what's going on. That kind of thing. Korvosa first. Anyway, so he's escorting you to Eel's End. He's also a famous swordsman and runs a swordsman school in the city. So that is where we left off. You have left now the keep, which does any of you write the name of the keep down, or do I have to look it up? Because I never remember.
I can grab the name.
You have a big map.
The keep that we're in right now, right?
The main keep, yeah.
That is Volshianek.
Thank you, Volshianek.
We're gonna go to his. I think he's gonna take us to his place.
He's gonna take you towards his place and give you instructions on where to go. So he's leading you from the Citadel all the way to Old Korvosa, and and basically then he'll give you some information and stuff. So, you are beginning your walk through the city. It's a little ways outside of the Citadel that he actually will pause and turn towards you, Avona, and kind of approach you, and kind of get down on one knee and kind of kind of hold out for your hand.
All right.
And then he's going to kind of rather than kiss it like he did earlier, he's going to kind of lean down and hold his head to your hand and be like, "I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Madam Avona. Or if you would please, rather, Lady Morvici. You did a great service to a student of mine. And though he's going to kind of stand up then with a very kind of sad face on his look, kind of you can tell he's very emotional about this. I had a falling out with a number of my pupils some time ago, some of my best students, and as much as the loss has heartened me, I still like to keep a big eye on them. I still care for them, even though... Regardless, though, did actions which may have saved my people. Growl soldado.
Oh, it was nothing. He needed the help.
He wouldn't have listened to me, not after everything that happened between us. I don't know how much he still is angry, hateful. I've done my best to move on. I can only hope that maybe because of thank you, this, there might be some kind of turnaround for him. Some hope.
Hopefully I did him some good, and thinks back to the fact that I literally mind controlled him to leave.
I mean, it helped him, honestly. You got him to go back to where he needed to go and get some people that would actually like drag him and help him, you know? Regardless, it was a great thing. I was going to speak to Madam Croft, regardless, about what was going on. But when she informed me that you lot would be involved, it was an opportunity to give my thanks. Something that I do not know if I would have had regardless. So thank you. Even if my student doesn't know what you've done, I recognize it.
Kind of nod and give like a respectful, I guess, not really a bow, it's a curtsy kind of thing, like that, you know, like a acknowledgement of respect that I did a good thing.
Regardless, we should head on still. And perhaps a little bit of information. I'm sure... Have any of you heard of Eodred?
Have I? This is local, right?
You can
No.
roll.
In Old Korvosa?
No,
It's
I
in
haven't.
old Korvosa.
I'd
Okay.
probably have.
It's a 21. I rolled as a, I rolled as a stout. I'm going to just do that from now on because I like the picture.
Wow.
Nice.
Too much
Sad.
I'm not
so-
enough of a nerd.
Certainly,
This-
Avona... well, maybe you've heard enough of a nerd. I don't know.
I don't have to
call
skill.
me a nerd.
Ah,
What the
well, then you're
fuck?
not enough of a nerd.
Yep. I get fucked by my class skills.
Get fucked.
Get that class skills.
I got screwed by the die. I mean, I rolled a
Get
5.
You rolled a 5. It happens sometimes, you know.
You've heard...
I feel like Khandes should know that just because of his backstory.
You've heard a little bit about it because there is a infamy about it in Old Korvosa, but also, like, it's probably more like your mother warned you against going there. It's the kind of place that you'd use to get, to gamble, find companionship, find various substances which are kind of on the outskirts of the law, that kind of thing. It's the place to go for your vices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, backstory-wise, I probably should know about it because my brother was probably frequenting that area.
Your brother may have started his habit there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, you might vaguely know about that, but you wouldn't know much else about it. That, your brother used to go there a little bit, and that's when things started going downhill for him.
On the eastern side of Old Korvosa.
Yes.
Curious about where it is.
What Eel's End truly is are 5 boats on a dock, a warship, and 4 smaller vessels. The vessels are owned by those that pay rent. The Lord of Eel's End, Devargo. He has his own laws in that area, almost like its own little kingdom that he's set up. makes things a little bit more difficult. And the fact is that no law enforcement is ever welcome, truly. And they skirt the law by paying the vice tax and some various other actions. So whether or not there truly is something secretive, illegal, well, as much as most average citizens would suspect that yes, whether it certainly would go against the law. There's nothing catchable. I compare this as a little bit different thing to your previous adventure. I had learned about it from Lady Croft. The information you provide on the criminal, Lamb. Lamb had his own infamy. I'd heard of the name too. But he was past his heyday, from all could be seen. And his strength perhaps laid less in actual strength of arms and more on ability to avoid them. DeVargo and his people have no need to hide. Think about that. So I would suggest you do your best to avoid a conflict. You'll have him and his enforcers, and they are perhaps much more trained than a bunch of orphans. I can't say for sure. I would assume. If you're going to speak to DeVargo or any of his men, you have to go to his main ship. The others, well, unless you're looking for something from them, you probably don't have to deal with them. Also, this place, that area of the city is quite quiet. None of the rioters have approached. And anybody that has during this time, well, they were there to relax in between whatever they were doing. So perhaps it's one of the safest points in the city at this.
Probably has its own guard force. Yes.
I understand if any of you are, or perhaps some of you might be, people that live to the law. I always see it as the law must serve the people, and if it doesn't, well, there must be changes. I've worked hard to ensure, especially things are well in old Korvosa as best they can be around my small area. DeVargo is a cruel and vicious man. Probably just as evil as Lamb, if not worse. So be on guard for whatever cruelties, darkness you may see there. Heighten yourself. Today might not be the day for justice against you. But perhaps there will be a time. For now, we must settle things down, and you have a mission that is very important. Should you need some form of help, I may not be able to offer my blade in the position we are currently. Should I act, it may open up more issues than it would be help. But I do have ears to the ground. And if it's truly needed, there may be a few I could try to call upon to assist you. Whether with strength of arms or something else. But I cannot guarantee they will assist. Just keep me informed if something is needed. Information, strength, or otherwise.
Will do.
Mm-hmm.
By this now, you've arrived at what would be his school, and he's like, this is where I reside. Please, return to me at some point. I will not need a report from your business here. I will eventually hear from my friend, Madam Croft. But good luck to you. Again. I'm here if I need it.
Thank you.
You do have a friend here. He'll turn and go inside after kind of pointing out and telling you the directions from here to Eel's End. It's getting to be early evening. Are you going to head straight to Eel's End then?
On the way past, I will pick up a healer's kit wherever we go.
Sure.
In case someone fucking dies. Alright?
What? Dying?
Well, who will do that?
That's cowardly.
Everyone else in this party but me, hopefully.
Dying is the coward's way.
Dying's lame.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who can stop death from occurring, so let's hope I don't go down.
So as you head down towards this dock area in Old Korvosa, certainly the first thing that happens is the night, as night is coming upon, as the evening is dimming, an area where it is already bright and lit and filled with much noise of music and boisterousness seems to echo from the docks. And as you head down across many of the piers, you approach which, I guess depending on which, in your case, this is the last pier, but it could be the first if you're coming from the opposite direction, which is marked by dozens of lamps hanging along it, all in the shape of dream spiders coiled around eels.
What is a dream spider?
Large native spider. I think I actually have... Sure.
I regret looking what this thing
Oh gosh,
is.
wait, hold on.
I have a drain spider. So
Rain
it's like that.
spider.
That's a
Drain
drain spider. Think about that. Like that, except slightly
Do
different.
they live in like the drains or like the sewers?
Oh, I thought you said dream spider.
Oh, I did. It's a different
Oh, okay.
kind. But it probably is like another similar breed to it, that's what I'm saying. Of like
Ah.
large, like plate-sized spider that lives in the area.
Where they live in like the sewer drains?
Yes, drain spiders do live in like kind of wet, dank areas. They like things like the docks.
Dream spiders, on the other hand, live in your
That's a
mind.
picture.
They live in your
That's a
dreams,
picture
yeah.
Of a that's a picture of a dream spider.
They're
from,
like phase
Archives
spiders,
of
but
Nexus.
they live in your
Nice.
rooms.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we should find a nice place to discuss our approach here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have a plan?
You're
Yeah.
kind of at the end of the dock right now, and it's like a 70-foot long,
Long
wide.
dock.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And you can see at the last 30 feet, it kind of widens into a large square platform on the water, where you can see the larger ship kind of surrounded with two on each side of the two smaller ships.
Yeah, we probably find a nice, by
Dark
that I mean
corner.
shitty pub
A nice
to go in. sit at a
inconspicuous
table.
alleyway.
Yeah, so we definitely should go into a pub where it's very nonchalant, no one gives.
Well, there's the sticky mermaid if we're in old Korvosa.
You're an old doc,
We are.
right?
I want to know why
You're the
that
old-
is.
Yeah, we're actually the sticky mermaid is actually the closest thing.
Yeah, there we go.
Right there,
So,
you're-
What a
Probably go there.
horrific name.
Well, there's also Jagar's Jug.
Yeah, but there's implications with a name like Sticky Mermaid, alright?
Yeah, well, I don't really like.
I want to go to the sticky mermaid.
I don't really like that. Jagar's Jug is a.
Actually, sorry, Jagar's Jug is closer. Sticky mermaid is a bit farther.
So
Oh,
I think Jagar is a.
that's the
Aren't-
name of the river.
Aren't they like? They're a political house. I thought they're like a royal house.
Maybe. I know it's also the name of the
Varisian.
river.
Look, it's an old Korvosa. It can't be that nice.
Oh yeah, aren't they the leaders of the Sable Company?
I have no idea.
I'm looking through.
I just
My
want to go to the
Korvosa.
sticky mermaid
I
because
mean,
it
it
sounds
has
more
a-
interesting.
Horrific name. We should go to that one, yeah.
I want to see how
Uh,
sticky the mermaid is.
Sure, we can go to either one. It doesn't really matter. We go to what your character prefers a sticky mermaid, I think. They'll
All right,
now
you're heading to
more
the
answer.
Sticky Mermaid. It's a kind of rough tavern filled with sailors and similars. Like, as soon as you arrive, 2 men come flying out in a drunken brawl.
My kind of place.
Yeah.
Let's not getting into any conflicts while you're here, please.
Oh, God.
Yes, I wouldn't want to burn the building down.
So, you can head inside, and yeah, certainly it's probably not as busy as it would be on your average evening. You know, the riots and all probably keeping some people away, but there's plenty of rough, well, some people aren't coming. Most people are. A lot of the rough sailors are here, drinking. There's someone like, you know, up on like a table with an accordion doing some music, kind of dancing and stuff too. As you can see the people around it on the table are actually kind of ignoring him playing cards. You can see that there's this like kind of grizzled woman where she's, rather than wearing an eye patch, she just has this like area where it looks like something just like bit out her eye. And it's kind of scarred over, but she doesn't wear an eye patch over it, and she's behind the bar, kind of like looking around and kind of like sees you as you eyes you up as you open. As there are some like, you know, people serving drinks and stuff, and a lot of like gambling and, you know, some merrymaking and stuff. Certainly, you can find a table.
Yeah, we sit down at a table in
What are you
4th Street
having?
Corner.
The fish
Ale for
jack's real
everyone.
great right now.
I'll ale for everyone. I'll pay for it.
Fish jack it is.
Is that bad? I look to Khandes. I don't know if I could handle it.
So, Khandes, you've probably drunk this, as it is a local spirit that is particular pleasant, unpleasant, and potent.
It includes fermented fish eggs.
Oh,
It does!
nice.
Yep.
I don't think my
Horrific.
character has the constitution to drink this.
I think you'll die.
It's better than the fish
Oh,
paste.
actually, no, wait. Fort is my worst save, actually.
It's better than the fish paste.
Fort save is a 1.
Oh, mine's better than
Alright.
yours.
Well, wizard, what do you want from me?
I'm also a wizard.
Anyway.
So get some fish jack and the other thing, which is the stuff they serve out of the old fish. They were serving out of the old fishery back
Yeah,
then.
I'll like throw out
Uh,
a silver, I think, right? It's only gonna be a couple copies.
and some dock dumplings.
Oh, God, I don't want to know what they're in those.
I'll
That
put
was
2
what they were
silver.
making in the fishery.
Yeah, that's what they're making in the fishery.
Christ, bro.
It's basically chummed up fish made into dumplings.
Let's just roll.
I'll eat the fish. I'll eat the dock dumplings. Won't touch the fish jack.
Let's
I
roll.
down
my
the fish
my-
jack.
Oh my god, this must be truly. No, I can't determine if this is bad or good.
Yeah, what does a
What do you
20
mean?
mean? What's a natural 20 mean for you?
I hadn't determined this. I think I might be a picky eater. I think I'm an incredibly picky eater.
I'm just gonna down the fish jack.
That's that 20 is actually your palate score.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, yeah, I think I'm an incredibly picky eater.
I think I would try the disgusting beverage.
Oh, I get
I
the
mean-
smell to my nose and my skin turns pale, like I'm gonna vomit.
It's probably not the worst thing you could drink, but it certainly has quite a stench to it, and it is strong.
It almost makes me think of like a fermented version of a bubba tea.
Oh.
Because of the
It's
fish eggs?
kombucha. No, don't say that, dude. That's the. Why would you?
Horrific. What the
Why
fuck?
would you harm boba so much?
Well, boba's not that good, to be fair.
Boba is so fucking good. You've only had bad boba. That's the truth.
Okay, kombucha
character-
mixed with boba.
You heard this? It's the jellies, okay? Jesus Christ! Not.
My
All right, it's
character
in
will
the
sniff
it's,
it.
it's in the notes.
wrinkle
I'm an
her
incredibly
nose.
picky eater.
Yeah. My character
Fair,
will like,
honestly.
sniff it, wrinkle her nose, and then give it a sip and be like, and then just continue drinking it.
So let's
It's not bad tonight.
I guess it, you know. Sorry, it just makes sense. I've been a picky eater. I grew up in a noble household.
Yeah.
The plan. Well, we got I think a couple thousand gold, right? Was it 1,200?
Just 1,000, I think.
You 1,000
just
gold,
1,000?
which is meant that if you feel like you need to bribe him, it's basically bribe money.
Yeah, we got 1,000 gold for bribery. I can be fairly persuasive. So can Khandes. And Tavel has a forked tongue.
It's such a backhanded compliment. Damn.
I'll fork your tongue if you not care.
I'm sorry. I feel like that threat needed an extra sentence or two.
Well, we could offer our services.
Yeah, I think it heavily depends upon what his service requirement is.
I will not work for a drug dealer.
Sounds like working for him is out of the question.
Well, it could be a reverse of last time.
Since you got a 21, Vona,
Yeah.
you probably know about this basic information. So most likely, like, the idea... DeVargo probably himself is not necessarily a drug dealer. Not directly. Because each of the ships that are stationed there have a different job. One of them is the Twin Tiger, which is their gambling hall. The Dragon's Breath Corridor is a ship that's been painted red and is the drug den.
Okay.
The House of Clouds is a brothel run by
Ooh.
half-elfin madam named Halvara.
That's...
And the Golden Hawk is a floating inn. So if you need a place to stay and or, take someone back that's not from the brothel, you can. And of course then the Eel's End, which is the headquarters of the entire area.
I mean, I could offer muscle services at the other 3 establishments.
So I don't believe he's the drug dealer one.
Again,
He's kind of in charge of all of them.
Yeah.
he's
the kingpin, right?
he's basically enabling them rather than directly doing drug dealing.
Yeah.
Which is he's giving them protection and allowing them to work here under his flag for money, for basically paying for like a racket, and a percentage of whatever profits they make.
If you want to do deal for work, I do work at any of the places other than Drug Den.
Could be a good way to get information as well. Though I know, and she will kind of gesture to Lucia, you are more within the bounds of the law. But the law has never really done anything for me, so I don't care for it that much.
I would assume whatever work he would have us do isn't going to be some guard this place or menial labor.
I would think Tavel would be more the concern. Didn't you almost work for law enforcement?
When you grow up on the strikes, you kinda get away with some things that you normally shouldn't.
I believe you
No.
mistake my concern. Continue.
I
I don't
mean,
know if I can pull the same feat twice in a row.
you did kidnap a man, so I think
It was for his own safety. So we could stop people from murdering other people? Do we not recall this?
Yes, but
Maybe
this
we
is,
can
it's the
kidnap
same
this man.
principle, isn't it?
Why is it called kidnap? They aren't kid.
Sometimes
It's
they are.
just the word used.
Wouldn't it be adult
God
nap?
damn it, Khandes. God damn it.
Khandes, that's just how the language works, okay?
But it would be the same
Strange.
idea, the same principle. Do something minor to stop something worse.
It depends on what it is. If there's a way we can do it without causing any substantial harm to people, then I'm okay with it.
We could sink all the ships.
That's excessive and not necessary.
No, we cannot
Yeah,
sink
I
every ship.
figured.
We would definitely be killed before that happened. And I would not help you.
Can try that.
I'm not good at sneaking. I'd be obvious.
You know, boats are really hard to burn down. Fun fact, they're on the water all the time for a reason.
And if you take a auger to the bottom of
If
the
a ship could burn easily, it wouldn't be on the water because it'd be a liability.
Well, if you
well, the water probably wouldn't be deep enough to just sink it. Not on the dock.
Yeah.
We're
It
not
is
sinking the
on
ship.
river.
We're just that's not unless you guys
should-
can breathe water all of a sudden.
if
Tavel's laughing.
we need more information, I'm sure the brothel would be a decent place to get that.
We should perhaps
Or also gambling place. People lose lots of money. More likely to be able to be bribed.
perhaps
Perhaps we could go in and maybe find out what particular vice Imperi takes.
perhaps we should, as we said, search and look for anything that he particularly has a chip on his shoulder about. Try to use any weaknesses he has in our negotiation. Finding out information about him will be helpful.
Right now, all you know. Sorry. Right now, all you know is Imperi goes here, but you do not know what he does when he's here. And honestly, you might not even know where he is most of the time as an ambassador. Maybe Lucia knows.
What?
That would be knowledge nobility to see if you know where to find.
Yeah,
I
it.
don't imagine knowing shit about nobles.
Yeah, I'm particularly good at this. I think my little buddy can assist
Oh,
me
I-
if you roll the 10.
Absolutely do not have an ability. Never.
Here's my little buddy. My buddy doesn't assist me. He doesn't whisper secrets into my ears.
Well, this poor
Or
Draco.
empathy.
He's
I rolled
so
really well, though.
stupid.
26, so I definitely know.
Well, you probably don't know exactly where he lives, but you probably know how to find out and where he kind of works at, so you'd probably be able to track him down with your knowledge.
I can find out the locations he inhabits quite easily. Although, isn't our mission to bribe the ship master here, the guy that runs a ship, to give us, the deets on this guy?
This was probably the easiest and quickest way to do it,
Yeah.
as far as Commander Croft did. You know,
Paying
Yeah.
for information.
yeah, paying for information. If you can figure out an easier or quicker solution to the entire problem of finding dirt on this man, then that's up to you. You know, she just told you, this is what I know, this is what you have to do, this is the best source I know about to do it. Here you go, have some money to do that.
If I'm gifted a couple hours, I can visit our good friends, the Gelentos. He requires some good enough clothes and visits several establishments I'm aware of in the 5 districts of Korvosa.
If he hangs around the brothel, some of the workers may know of his secrets.
The brothel is the ship, right?
Brothels
They're all
one of
ships.
them. Yeah, they are all
Yeah.
ships.
There are 5 ships, and other than Eel's End itself, which is the main warship that is here, that's the headquarters. The other 4 ships are basically, think of each one of them as a different job. The only one that's actually probably the most lawful is the one that's just an inn, you know?
There's no brothels or anything in the noble districts, right? Or anything near them. Is there anything that they would like? They probably visit this place because it's on the water and off the law, right? To be like discreet.
Well, there is a vice tax, so I'm guessing there might be other places, but they also might be less
obvious.
Less obvious, and also probably less. If you're probably finding a place where you could spend some time with some people in the noble district, it's probably a lot more of an expensive and probably would be called an up and up kind of establishment. It would probably be much more of a reasonable, like, something that would fit along the lines of it. The brothel here is probably into some shady shit also on the side.
Brothel.
Well, yeah, I mean, it probably has more sexual vices that services they give.
Yeah. So it would be kind of like, it's not you probably couldn't find that kind of stuff within the noble district. It's probably just in the noble district, it's presented in a much cleaner, nicer way. So if you're looking to get your kinks off and something a little more freaky, you got to go to some place like here.
Okay, I propose we split the party and we do some investigations.
Okay.
Are we all okay with this?
I could take the gambling establishment.
I think just so we're all on the same page, we kind of don't want to bribe this dude, right? The dude on the ship. We want to kind of find an alternative way
out of it. I would prefer that, but I don't want bribe to be our first option.
I don't want to pay money to the scumbag that runs the ship.
I also don't want this guy knowing who the hell we are.
That's
also,
a point as well.
If bribe fails, he might tip him off.
Yeah, that's why I think the bribe should be the last choice.
So we should, all right. So I think we split to do some investigations into this loser.
Who's going where?
A persuasive person should probably go to the brothel.
The least persuasive? Is that what you said?
A persuasive person, because I'm going to be honest, I don't know if intimidate will be a good skill to use on prostitutes.
I don't know. I think it could work pretty well.
Charm person, however, might work, but I feel as a player don't feel okay with doing that.
I mean, I could go to brothel or I could go to gambling den. I don't think we'd get much at the inn.
No, the inn I feel is the weakest one for information.
I can also probably find where this guy's. I could probably find out where this guy lives if someone wants, the sneaky person later wants to try to, get into his house to get some info, but that's a later discussion.
I guess, I think I actually will go to the brothel because I have an idea.
I can't lie. I can't.
I was going to offer.
I can't talk to people. I can only lie. So.
He lied as easily as he breathed.
So what are the places again? There's a brothel, gambling den,
a drug den, and basically an inn.
Yeah, I won't go to the drug den.
No, that's fair. I also will not go to the drug den.
I'm going elsewhere to follow my amazing ability roll.
Alright, since you're all splitting up in different places, why don't we go in a...
Split up and roll, look for clues.
Let's do it in clockwise order.
Oh my god, we're Scooby-Dooing this place. Let's fucking go.
Okay, Khandes.
Okay. Well, I guess that leaves me going to the drug den. Yay.
Everyone else has already left, so
you're all like, oh, I'm going here, and then I'm like,
well, it would be either you or Tavel. Tavel going to the drug den, they could lie and say they're looking for drugs.
Yeah, Tavel want to buy some drugs?
Tavel would not feel comfortable getting involved with that.
So, I'm just confirming.
Well.
So, Khandes is going to the gambling hall.
Yes.
Lucia is heading to check out the noble route of things and maybe look into the ambassador. Tavel, what are you doing? I'm not as 100%.
Tavel will go to the most useless place, the inn.
Oh, so you're going to the inn. Might find something there. Avona's heading to the brothel, and then Ada's heading to the drug den. Gotcha. All right. Break. Khandes. So you are going to, of course, head to the Twin Tigers. It's on a barge, and there's two hut-like structures on top of it, and you can hear laughters, roar of victory, kind of going on. The main deck inside these structures are packed with gamblers. Dice, cards, wheels spinning, coins, all kinds of stuff like there. So, yeah. You will notice very easily there are basically 4 men. I'm not going to make a perception check because they try to make themselves seen. That are definitely the muscle here, in case something goes wrong, as they're kind of walking around and patrolling the area. So
I'm gonna look around. Is there like a more high roller section or anything?
Not that you can easily notice. It seems as though like most of the people that are in this area are either the enforcers, who seem to be like kind of like there's 2 per tent area, and the rest of them seem to be workers. Whoever is actually in charge here, you don't see very easily.
I'm actually going to approach one of the guards.
All right. He's going to take note that you're approaching him, kind of like look at you. He's not going to say anything.
I'm going to kind of, just walk up, hands obviously in sight.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm looking for high roller area.
Mean everywhere?
No special area for betting large sums?
That's what you want at whatever table.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna just make try to get a general perception check, kind of look around. Does there seem to be any area that, like maybe anybody's more finely dressed at?
Sure. Give me a check.
Nat 20.
Very good roll. That's a very good roll. So I'm going to give you some information here. So the thing that you're looking at is, unfortunately, with the nature of this place, and it isn't really like a huge location, they don't really have a separate out. So certainly you can easily see that there are people that more come from like common slacks, gambling next to people that are obviously probably like a noble or something. But even then, they dress a little down. They're probably like a little it becomes noticeable in the details. And
right.
Basically like how much money they're throwing down a lot more than anything. You will also notice that in amongst the people that seem to be running the place, there are 2 people that actually stand out. And they look very similar to each other. One of the men is kind of standing back and kind of seems to be like, basically, he's blending in with the crowd a little bit, but you're noticing that he seems to be almost patrolling a lot like the enforcers are. Except rather than the enforcers who are standing out, this man is basically giving a patrol. There's another man who actually seems like, at first glance, almost kind of like seems to match with everybody that's there. But, you kind of can get the sense that he's basically chatting up people a lot. And, talking to a lot of people. Again, both of them blend in very well with the groups here.
Probably one's looking for cheaters.
Would you know that? Would you be able to identify that? That's a question I have.
I mean that's me speaking, not.
I know there's something else that is related to it. Both of them do not look like they are a standard person from around this region, and from either groups that normally settle here. Basically, those that have Chalexian descent, or any of the groups, those that are of Varisian descent, and of course those that are of fuck, I keep forgetting it. Please give me your tribes group.
Oh my god,
brother.
My brain just died too.
We're the Moon tribe.
Shawanti.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that,
they're not of Shawanti descent either.
Shawanti.
They are obviously from somewhere else in the world. I can also say that about them. You probably do not recognize their
Where?
ethnicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's within your wheelhouse. But yeah, they definitely stand out in amongst people when you really like. Again, it's a lot more subtle. I would. Everybody that fucking lives along the inner sea has a little bit of that, from Mediterranean look to them to a degree.
Right.
To different degrees.
Right.
So it's probably a little bit more Mediterranean. So, I don't know what that means. It's so hard to describe things.
No, I get you. I get what you mean. I mean, Mediterranean, skin tone and everything.
Yeah, olive skin, tan.
Yeah, like Chalaxian people tend to be very olive. They tend to be like a little bit more tanned to olive, so they're a little darker than your average Chalaxian would be. That's why they stand out. But it is a subtle kind of standout. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, I finally figured out how I want to say it. It's a lot more subtlety in the way that they stand out. Like, with your check, you can be like, oh, hey, yeah, they aren't Chalaxian, it's enough of a difference physically that when you get a good, look, that's when you notice it. You may have seen people similar to them before, but you don't know their nationality, because, again, Korvosa is a pretty international port. It's no Absalom.
It's not like you're going up to people, hey, you look different, what are you?
You might do that to someone like Ada, because Ada stands out because giant reptile creature, but, your average humanoid, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So
I'll go to one of the dice tables then. That looks like that maybe there's some higher betting going on.
Sure. There seems to be a place that's getting some good high bets going. It seems to be some people that are there seem to be doing really well. There's been a lot of cheers and raucous, laughter, hurrahs coming from this one. That probably's been standing out more than others.
Okay, yeah, I'll go over there.
Okay. Yeah, there seems to be about half a dozen people that are placing a lot of bets right now. A lot of people that are kind of watching that don't seem to be involved in it. It seems like there's a pretty good pot right now. A couple people seem to be betting about 100 gold a piece, and one person seems to have a bet of what looks to be probably maybe 100 platinum down on the table.
Ooh.
That person with 100 platinum seems to be the person that's been very successful.
Okay, I'm gonna watch a few rolls at first. See if I'm familiar with the game at all.
It's probably equivalent to craps. I gotta be honest. I think there is a game in Pathfinder, Bones they call it or something, which is, it's pretty much craps.
Okay, I'll watch for a little bit, and then I'm going to step up, and I'll put 100 gold down.
Okay. As the newcomer to the table, you do have a few options. They give you the option of rolling the die. So you got in this case you get a little cup to roll out of, so it is a little bit more like Bones. So you shake up the cup and toss it out and stuff,
Well, it's harder to manipulate the dice that way, too.
True.
What are the other options? Is it just bet on someone else?
Well, it'd be someone else would be rolling.
Right.
Right now, the high roller has had the option, the person that's been winning. But usually if there's a newcomer joining the table, and especially someone that's meeting the bets of someone else, they're like polite enough to offer you the opportunity. Because otherwise the person who still is on a, seems to be on a kind of streak.
Right.
It looks as though they are winning, but they haven't gone for any huge bets right now. They've gone for a couple of huge bets, but like when he put the 100 platinum down, it was on like one of those like lesser bets kind of thing, It wasn't on like the big bet. And it seems like he's playing smart to a degree.
Okay.
So it seems like whoever it is a pretty good gambler.
I'll take the cup. Why not?
Okay.
We'll try it.
You can either just roll it, or you can do one of two other things, which is you could, if you're a professional gambler, you could try using that. That is an option.
Yeah, I wish I did, but no.
Yeah. Try using a sleight of hand, but that'd be for more cheating.
Yeah.
Or if you think of something else in there, there's probably a few other ones I'm not thinking of for dice
You can
manipulation.
for dice manipulation, yeah.
Well, either
Yeah.
not by cheating, but maybe like rolling it in such a way, or something like that. Which
Well, that's still
That's
kind
probably
of
just
cheating.
profession, right? That's sleight
Yeah,
of
I
hand
mean,
of profession.
For dice, probably not. For something like poker, you could argue sense motive, but
Yeah, I mean, dice is
I
just...
never want
Yeah,
to
poker you could
I
sense
want to
motive.
experience doing poker and Pathfinder again.
Just roll your.
Yeah, I mean, I could just roll my dex.
what do you
if
want to bet? You can bet.
I'm betting 100.
But I mean, what do you want to bet?
Whoa!
So the bets are-
right down
The
middle.
bets are you can bet on
Oh, yeah.
a number, you can bet on odds or evens, or you can bet on high-low. High-low is the least bet. It tends to have very little return. So you basically, if you
Right, because
bet
it's a
100 gold,
50-50 shot.
it's a
then.
50-50 shot.
Oh, so is odds or evens too, technically.
Technically speaking, yeah.
I'll
and
go
it's-
evens.
And I will tell you, it is 4d6s they roll. So it is a little different than craps. It's closer to, I think Bones is technically 3d6, but I'm making it 4d6 for this game. So
Okay.
it does have a much bigger number spread, too.
Well,
So-
let's see what happens.
Roll 4d6. You bet on evens.
12!
Alright! So you throw out the dice, you'll notice that the high roller man actually matches your bet then. He decides to go with you since you go with it. And you roll it, and, there's a big cheer from the group. There's some people that pat you on the shoulder and stuff, and so you now have 110 gold pieces.
Ooh, you're rich.
It seems like, I'll tell you, you get about 10% of your return back for, like, the 50-50 chances.
Yeah.
For the specific numbers, you get another 50% of whatever your bet is.
Yeah. Because that's much more difficult to...
Yeah, especially on 4 dice.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll take the 10 and keep the 100 on there.
okay.
And this time I'm going to do odds.
Give it another roll. We'll do one more, and then we'll kind
Yeah.
of, like,
Oh! 12 again.
there's a little bit of loss,
Yeah.
there's like, a little bit of like, a good try, and then, so the high roller will take over the dice then,
Yeah.
and, so the game will continue on. If you want to stay in there, let me know how long you want to stay in.
I'm going to stay in for a little bit, just try to get a... I'm going to do like a sense motive on the high roller. I just want to see like what kind of vibe am I getting from him. So let's see if I get
well, sense
anything.
motive, yeah. You get a lot of like just if there's anything subtle about it, you're not kind of
Yeah.
pitching that on. The man does seem to be very emotional, but he is also not like, the people around him seem to be cheering a lot more. He seems to be like, more like a little bit of a stoic emotion, like, yeah, that kind of stuff, like rather than like hooting and hollering for the cheers and stuff.
He's a calm gambler.
Anyway, we'll kind of just say if you stay on the odds even, you'll fairly break even. You know, obviously it's the thing about the 50-50s. It's a break even most of the time, you know, or
yeah, and that's completely fine. I wasn't trying to really.
Yeah, or as if you go longer, technically it just becomes a loss. Then honestly, because you know, just the way numbers work, you know, taking away 10% is a lot better than giving you 10% most of the time.
Yeah, no, that's completely fine.
After a while, though, one of the two men you saw earlier will come up to you and kind of like give you a pat on the shoulder. He's like, "Welcome, welcome. Are you new to our establishment? I haven't seen you around."
Yes, recently came into a little bit of money. Figured, why not have a little fun?
Excellent, excellent. How are you enjoying it? You seem to have a little bit of a knack for the game, and at least you are doing decently.
Yes, it's been quite interesting. I haven't played this one before.
Do you need anything? I know some people here. They can give you a drink or something. Keep you going.
Oh, a refreshment would be nice, yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Please enjoy your stay there, but maybe a game of a little bit more skill would be up your alley. Perhaps something a little bit more of a flash, a flare. I understand how the dice can call to you, but we'll get you that drink and just let me know if you'd want to try something a little bit better. There's plenty of other games.
What do you suggest?
There's always cards. Cards are the real deal when it comes down to it. A place to test your skill. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't get a little bit of skill in the spin of the wheel, but certainly, that's just seeing our lovely lady and making sure, you know, judging how well that she can spin it per spin. You know, for us, real skill comes down to the cards. Any man worth bets with their salt, perhaps interested in it.
I'll give it a try.
Excellent. I'll make sure that drink gets to you.
Thank you.
And they'll probably bring you over a shot of some kind of... Honestly speaking, it's probably not a particularly expensive alcohol, but it's probably something that's like a little decent, you know?
Yeah, something better than fermented fish.
It's sort of like, maybe like something equivalent to a cheap whiskey, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like something a little harder, something a little better, but it's not something that's so particularly super expensive. And honestly, you are betting like 100 gold, you know, and doing a lot of... That's a pretty big, sizable bet, you know?
That's why I went with them. Like, I got a little extra cash. Maybe also if I do that, you know, people might loosen lips.
Yeah. Anyway.
Worst case, we can take it out of 1,000 or bill it.
So, what do you want to do now? What kind of... You've established yourself now as a gambler, at least in the dice world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming I got nothing off of him on that sense motive.
No.
I didn't think so.
He did introduce himself, though. He is named... I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this name. I gotta be honest.
And...
Pugit. And Pugit. If you have knowledge local, you could try to roll
I do. I will try it.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll roll better than the last one. Ooh,
all right.
That's not bad.
Okay, yeah. You recognize that because you've been on the docks a little bit and you have, as much as, you know, again, it's hard to just judge someone by looking at them about their ethnicity, especially a lot of people around the Inner Sea region have very similar appearances, you know. But you recognize that name as a Vudrani name.
Vudrani.
Which I will tell you whether or not they are connected. You did hear about a group that I believe was connected with the Vudrani. Yes, with Vudra. Darkonis.
Oh.
Have deep ties to Vudrani are people from Vudra. basically. That region.
Okay.
So, whether or not there's a connection or not, there might not be at all, but this is the second time in so few days in relation to, criminal undertakings that you've heard of people related to that. So, and also the Arconas are the de facto controllers of Old Korvosa, you heard. Something that one of your allies do. They are the nobles that effectively control this region.
Right.
Which also might make sense why there's a bunch of Vutrani people in the area, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll do cards for a little while, try to, trying to basically schmooze, and maybe then I'll work up to, trying to talk to this guy a little bit more.
Okay. I guess you could roll Sleight of Hand, Bluff, or Profession Gambler are the three that I can think about for cards off the top of my head. Maybe Intimidate, too. You could probably Intimidate, honestly.
My Intimidate and Bluff are actually the same.
But what I mean is, you could probably use Intimidation to kind of, make people, misjudge you, be worried and, make mistakes. Just give me a general roll of one of those, and we'll see how well you're playing cards.
You just have a really mean face.
Yeah. Alright, you are doing your best to kind of, puff yourself up, look intimidating. It's also, a little bit of a bluff, too, But in a way of, it's rather than, trying to, trick them by being, kind of stoic, this is more, intimidate, intimidation. It's making yourself be unreadable because you're looking fierce, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of just staring everyone down.
Yeah. So you're doing an okay job. I think overall you're probably as cards. You're probably gonna lose money, honestly, unless you rolled really well. But you're not doing super bad at it.
How much do you want me to take off?
We'll say you're down to 80 right now.
Okay.
That includes everything that happened with the other ones. You're down to 80 at this point in time. So you've been had some general. There is no all-in moments or anything like that, especially with the game at that point.
That's no problem. I'm fine with losing a little. Like I said, I'm just trying to kind of
judge what's going on a little bit.
Yeah, and kind of. Also, I'm gonna just give a general perception of just. Do I overhear anything interesting?
Sure. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay. So, you actually will hear a small conversation between the two men, who, now that you get a kind of side-eye view of them, you can definitely tell they're brothers.
That's what I was thinking.
They're very close in appearance. Not quite identical twins, but, they look very close to each other. They seem to be having a conversation. I'm guessing you probably don't know the language, most likely.
I just have common.
But give me a sense motive check. At least allow you to roll that to kind of get a feel of what's going on.
No way in hell.
Okay.
A important question is, can he identify the language? Do you have any linguist expertise, Khandes?
No.
Or do you not have any? Okay, well then never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
You can probably
assume
it's probably.
Yeah, if I put a rank in it, I would have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I get linguistics, it's just I never put a rank in it.
You can assume it most likely is
Their native.
Vudra, the language of their region, which I think is a language. God, it's so hard to remember all the human languages of Pathfinder.
What language are you talking about? We're all speaking Taldan right now, and then Varisian as well, which is common in there.
Right, but they're from Vudra, so they might have their own.
Which I think
Jara.
it is. Vudrani is a language.
Yeah. Okay.
So it is spoken in that region. I just was
Yeah.
checking something here. Yeah, none of the languages that are similar to it you have either, so that doesn't matter. It does have some influence from Tien and Kelish, so if you knew any of those, you might be able to pick up some things. But even with the 4, you do get a sense of something. The one seems to be perfectly stoic, just kind of like the one that was walking around, kind of like just observing things that you saw earlier. But the other one does seem to have like a bit of an emotion, and seems to be you're not sure necessarily what it's about, but does seem to have like a almost like a raised voice with him, even though they're still both speaking very like under their breaths. He certainly is like a much more emotional. The one that spoke to you earlier, whose name I gave you, I'm Pugit.
Yes.
Anyway, why don't we leave it there? You're kind of like installed in the group and kind of checking things out, looking around.
Mm-hmm.
Lucia. You're
yeah.
heading. Yes, you're heading to the noble family to basically I guess you're getting dressed up. What is your exact plan?
Yeah, so I go out and buy, like, I searched up all I needed to do. I buy 80 golds worth of clothes and gems to look noble enough. Buying a courtier's outfit and the gems required.
Okay.
And I buy some perfume.
Mm-hmm.
With my earlier role, I have some ideas of the places to look, correct?
You certainly know where the Chilaxian, they probably would actually have a building that would be like a, embassy. It's probably not a huge building, but because of the Chilaxian, connection, they probably actually have one. Unlike a lot of other countries during this time, they don't have a lot of embassies. So, certainly you know where the Chilaxian embassy is, and you know where a lot of generally area where a lot of within the upper end districts where ambassadors and important dignitaries from other countries can stay.
Ambassadors usually lived in their own manor or whatnot. So
yeah,
I presume he has his own nice house somewhere in the heights.
He probably does have one. And probably only is called to the embassy when he's needed to, and probably has a bunch of, lesser workers there most of the time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna first hit up our great friends of the family.
Mm-hmm.
The Jargons. Jalentos, not the Jargons, the Jalentos.
Yeah.
Save the boy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and ask them if they know anything about this ambassador boy. If there's any rumors they know of, any places he visits.
You will actually arrive, since it's evening, at the time of an evening meal. And you will be offered to join them at the evening meal as a friend of the family, and actually someone that seems to have an idea of how to act within noble society.
Oh, yeah, I come to their house fully dressed up in the courtier's outfit, so normally you take a -2 to your charisma checks with nobles if you don't have a proper outfit. I'm not suffering any penalty.
Yes.
So, not that I would anyway, actually, since I'm not making a charisma check, but besides the point. I will join them for the time because that is the polite thing to do.
So you have probably not met his father before, but he's a stoic man of the family. Much older, seems of the Gelento family, well dressed, and he's like, "Welcome, Miss Leroung. Please join us."
Doesn't know my last name, but yeah.
I'm not pronouncing it right?
No, I've never said my last name.
Miss...
Lucia's fine.
Well, Miss Lucia, please take a seat. What business do you have with us this day?
I was hoping to gain some knowledge of a individual. We're I'm sure you are all familiar with the... What is the name of this ambassador? I'm really terrible at names.
His name is Darvain Gios Ampri.
Yeah, Mr. Sir Darvain Gios Ent. The ambassador from Chelia.
If I may be so bold as to ask, what interest do you have in the ambassador?
I wish to know his next move. He is a suspicious man with suspicious motives.
An interesting thing to say as someone from our wonderful allies to the south that help us out with many a thing.
And if he has acted in that way, I will find nothing on him. But I seek to confirm that his acts will benefit Korvosa. If there was a time for a snake of a man to act, it would be right now.
Certainly it is no hidden thing amongst noble circles that Ambassador Ampri is not very fond of his position here in Cheliax. Would you say he would take advantage of his dislike to push negative policies towards our fair city, our people?
I would suspect that is a possibility without any confirmation. I would also suspect that there is our own Korvosan houses that would seek to cause us suffering. But there's not enough proof to lay accusations at the moment.
It is unfortunate that I must agree with you. Certainly within this company here, this could be discussed. But words that I will say now should not travel outside this room unless they are absolutely necessary. Much of the destabilization in the city seems to be the cause of those within our own society that seek to take advantage of the situation. The king was already weakening, and there were already those taking advantage of it. Were you aware of his sickness?
I was vaguely aware of what was going on. It is hard to keep in touch with noble politics while in Old Korvosa.
Whatever our king had become ailed with was more powerful and perhaps maybe of a nature that normal magics could not even overcome.
And almost certainly planted in someone had sickened him. If not even the high clerics of Korvosa could cure it.
The possibility of an assassin has been rumored at this point in time, but whether evidence about it or not, I do fear something may occur, though. Just to me and you, and I hope nothing comes of it. I feel as though our new queen may be out for blood, maybe revenge, as the next level of her own grief.
I hope with my passing connections with the queen at the time to maybe stifle such rage. But only time will tell, and my successes will only strengthen my ability to influence the queen.
That would be for the best. As much as there may or may not be someone that perhaps afflicted it. Sometimes terrible diseases of magic nature do occur and can be caught from various places. And there are many old artifacts that sometimes pop up here and there from the old Korvosan vaults. Certainly, another thing is the Queen could perhaps blame herself. She, for one, had an interest in some of our old objects. Not as of an academic study, but I believe at the time to find something that would be flashy and amongst her peers. For all we know, she could have drug out something that unexpectedly. But whether or not she feels guilt, whether or not she has any connection at all, or whether or not it was some form of assassin, in the coming days we might find out. There are investigations going on.
Just so I remember out of game, we were all together when we discovered that he was buying land and stuff, or was that after we split?
From his want of buying up land or properties is something that was informed to you by Orsini.
Okay, great.
Basically, Orsini, with his connections to people in Old Korvosa, had discovered he's trying to buy up places, or like he's set up things to buy up places when things get devalued.
Yeah.
Even more than they already probably are.
But back onto Empiri, which is the matter I must be most concerned with at this time.
True.
I know that he has bought land in Old Korvosa, while it has been extremely cheap due to the rioting. And that some even believe that he wishes to have Chilex come here and make him a noble in the future.
Certainly, though friendly we are with Cheliax, we did break away from them. And there probably are hardliners within the government that would see no better than to reconquer us. Though the situation would be difficult in a weakened state, perhaps the ambassador feels it is an opportunity. If that's not his plan, certainly if he's maneuvering himself to find himself owner of something, that's the reek of corruption. What would be your plan then? How would you sniff out this corruption?
That is why I have come. My companions are doing their own investigations elsewhere, and I'm here because I'm the only one who can be. I can blend in well enough with the nobles. I just need to find a place in which he visits frequently enough. If I can, I require evidence of his treachery. And if I can find that evidence, then Ambassador Empiri can be stopped. I require the dirt in which he hides.
I cannot act directly, but perhaps I can do something to assist. What actions are beyond that would be up to you. As someone that has proven themselves an ally of the family, with you and your associates, there was some business that I had been putting off, that I could take care of with the embassy. Perhaps you could take care of it for me. I could grant you a writ of introduction and allow you to help take care of business. Something that has been bothering my mind. As with many Korvosans, we have connections to old Cheliax, and certainly my family has connections to an old noble family still within Cheliax, one that has lost much of its grandeur. But because of that, there's the possibility that old land may still be within the family name that no one has had strength to control at this point in time. Certainly we are people of Korvosa, but having a small chateau or vineyard or something of such, within the Cheliaxian countryside, would be something marking a hierarchy of the connections between our family and Cheliax. I considered looking into it more deeply, but have put it off for some time. There was much going on within the city itself here that required my attention. And I, for a time, thought it would be something that would give my son something to do. But it's obvious that he is a little bit more preoccupied. And perhaps a little bit more education directly in the palace might be in order. You'll notice that Amin is certainly kind of giving that kind of look. You don't have a sense motive for that of crap, man. You know.
Yeah. School. He got just told off by his dad.
Yeah. He's at his dad's like, you're at the age you should be working for the family and getting a position to take over from me. Why the hell aren't you, kid? You know? Anyway. Perhaps you can do this job for me, then. There are records to look into, and you would have to spend some time with the keepers of information there, talking with them, discussing with them. An opportunity may occur, and perhaps even the ambassador themselves may show up. As unlikely it is, I have heard Ambassador Ampri rarely visits the embassy unless it is of utmost importance. Though I can't say what your investigation may come upon might be.
If you would entrust me with such an act, I would be most grateful. The information I could find there might prove invaluable.
He, kind of makes a motion, and one of his servants will come in with a piece of paper and something to write on. And he'll kind of write up something very quickly, and then have it passed over to you as a writ of he'll also put a seal on it and stuff as a written of introduction that you are acting in behalf of his family.
If you would wish your son to join, he may learn something invaluable in his coming days.
He certainly has time nowadays, and it would be safer than having him wander in places that he can get stabbed.
I will leave that decision to you and him.
I probably should go with you.
Let's go, I got someone to aid, guys.
It's a more you also can get the feeling Amin didn't have a choice when he suggested that. His father was yeah, do that then.
Right. And on my exit, I will mention to him, and I will whisper this to the father, while he's taking us out.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a house that is primarily against Korvosa, it would be House Arcona. I would keep eyes on them.
There's been much suspect of Arcona's duplicity, but their control and use and funding from old Korvosa has made them difficult to deal with. Certainly, I do not think there could be any way to use sanctions or something as such against them. They're too strong. But an extra eye out for perhaps treachery or something a little bit more subtle is not bad to have, especially if you've seen evidence of them acting during this time. I'll keep it in mind.
And I'll bow and exit.
Yep. Why don't we take a break now, and then we'll do Tavel, Rona, and Ada. We should hopefully get everybody in for at least a first part of your investigation stuff. Heals and beyond. And also, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, tonight, snack, drink, bathroom break. Go ahead and do those, and we'll be back in a... And where's my thing to take the screen off? There it is! I almost had us go back very efficiently, but, whatever. Welcome back. Alright. Tavel, you were heading for the inn, right?
Yes.
All right. So, the Golden Hawk is a smaller ship. It's seen a lot of repairs. Definitely you can see that of the ships here, it probably is the one that looks the least seaworthy, though it's kind of sometimes hard to tell if any of these are actually seaworthy at this point in time. But it is nicely lashed to the pier, and it does seem stable. So yeah. You can head into the lobby kind of area of the Golden Hawk, which would be the kind of... It's built in such a way that, like, the people that control the place have, like, where the captain's cabin would be. And on the other side, where the officer's cabin on the ship would be, which leads down into the is kind of where the check-in is. And then they have, heading downstairs, they've broken out the various floors down below into rooms. So it has seen a lot of reservation, turning an actual, like, boat into more of a inn.
It's actually a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
So where the check-in is that like a big lobby area?
It would have been like what the officers' quarters would have been originally. And you also know there are 2 levels you can get. There's like a couple of like nicer rooms on the mid-floor, or you could just basically you can easily find out. There's a gnome here who's like, "Hello, how it is nice to meet you." It's a... Okay, I'm not going to try to repeat that anymore. It's a gnome with a lisp, and wall-eyed, a patchy beard, a crumpled hat, and he has, like, strangely enough, like, just a whole bunch of unusual keys hanging up behind him. That they're all different keys.
He's the key master.
What do I want to do? You know what?
If you're looking for a room, I can offer you a very simple room for 4 silver pieces a night, or for 1 silver piece you can get the bunks, if you just need something to sleep off where you've been doing. If you'd like a little bit of a nicer place, we can offer it.
I put down a gold and I say, what can this get me?
Well, certainly speaking, you can get a couple of nights in one of the nicer rooms in the upper floor. But, I could always look to... Normally we don't treat a lot of extra things, but I can arrange to maybe get a little bit of hot water to kind of wash yourself off a little bit, if that would help out.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Is there a particular time you'd be like to wake up in the morning, or as you trying to sleep in past whenever the booze and stuff gets off of your brain?
I can handle waking myself up.
Sounds great. Enjoy your stay at the Golden Hawk.
Thank you, sir. And I guess while making my way past there, I'd like to check and see if there's any... Well, I was tempted.
So...
It would have been very funny.
So, the way this place is built is, like, certainly there's the check-in room where, the gnome introduced himself as Tuggins. They describe him so wonderfully.
I'm sorry, could you repeat his name?
Tuggins.
Alright, that's what I thought you said.
The Tuggins, the gnome with a lisp, walleye, a patchy beard, and a crumpled hat, and the weird collection of keys behind him.
He's tugging, bro.
Are you sure he doesn't work at the brothel?
He doesn't. He maybe in his youth.
Jesus Christ.
Look.
My Eridan's blade. Can we not use a Pathfinder god here? Okay?
Anyway, so certainly on the floor below, you're just basically, you're not even given a key, you're just told which bunk is yours, which room is yours, and It's still fairly cramped in the smaller rooms. Basically, the floor below, where probably originally a lot of the sailors and stuff would have slept, because it's like a mid floor and then a bottom floor for cargo hold. In that mid floor, the rooms are relatively small. They're relatively cramped. It's a pretty decent place though. It's an actual kind of bed on the water, but you're not really floating very much, so you don't really get a lot of it. It is the river too, so you don't really feel a lot of it. It's not the open ocean. Just a kind of a nice place, kind of like a container that someone will come around and fill with water, for you. And you can get the hot water if you really want. They'll get that because you pay the extra money. But it's still a little cramped, a little small, and a bunch of them squeezed in here. And certainly, if you wanted to look, the bottom floor is basically where the original cargo hold is filled with smaller, kind of almost bunk areas that have been divided up by loose sheets that are much more cramped. So if you just want to spend some place where you need to really just sleep it off and get cramped in the cargo hold, you could. Especially if you lost all your money at gambling.
Do I notice any common areas or anything
The deck is probably the closest thing to a common area, but because this place is right next to a gambling hall with a lot of drinks and a brothel and a drug den, it doesn't really have a common area to itself. It uses those.
I guess I'll probably go to my room that I'm there, but like a stakeout kind of where I'm just have the door open or whatever, see who's coming and going.
Certainly, the doors don't really have a lock on them per se. Not something that really would work very well. It's kind of got a wood latch that sort of works, but also you get the feeling that this place has security because it's next to the the Eel's End, rather than having a lot of security itself. You don't want to have criminal activity under the crime lord. He's probably not going to be happy about that.
Great way to get your fingers broken.
Or worse. As much as the rooms don't lock very well, you can definitely leave the door open. A young woman will bring you a container of hot water and fill a little tub that's in the room, because again it's the bunk, kind of bed bunk in here, that's kind of built into the entire room. You get actually a nice porthole in the side. It looks like all the rooms have either they had a porthole or they had one added in, so you can kind of see outside. You get the kind of tub on a little table that's kind of again built into the wall. All the furniture is built in here, so it makes it feel even more at least to a degree, it's appropriate on a ship, even though certainly this ship has been heavily modified.
Alright. I'll wash my face. Well, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I think the only thing Tavel will do here is, like I said, do a stakeout, kind of see who's come and going. If there's any people that stand out.
You'll be here long enough. What is your perception bonus? Just as an idea.
5.
Okay. Because you can theoretically take a 20 with this one, definitely. You have plenty of time to kind of sit here and just kind of observe and listen and stuff like that. And a number of individuals will kind of come in. Some of them just are sound like they've drunk a little too much and need somewhere to hit. And, over the evening, certainly things will keep going. And you can kind of definitely get a feel that, as the early evening comes, things ramp up here. But then by, late at night, Certainly things quiet down a little bit by kind of getting towards midnight, but there's still a lot of, like, partying going, and, you know, I'll tell you, by the time morning would come, things would kind of quiet up. This place never goes quiet, it's just fairly quiet in comparison during the day, you know. So there's still people gambling, drinking, drugging, brotheling, even during the day, just to a much lesser degree. You can feel that. All right, there is, and it turns out you did choose the one there's not a lot to relate to. It's
Yeah.
the inn.
Tavel's gonna take a sleep.
Yeah. Avona.
He's gonna pretend he did something.
Yeah. You will head for the brothel, which is the House of Clouds. So there's a large structure that seems to have been built on top of the main deck of the barge. It's got a large double doors which hang open to reveal a room that has a lot of throw rugs, large pillows, and there's a lot of incense. And it's lit by these red paper lanterns. The sense of anise, rosewater, and cinnamon kind of pour forth from bronze braziers set on silver stands, which are carved in the likeness of slit-eyed serpents and proud hunting birds. And there are a large number of scantily clad men and women loitering about within this room.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For where I'm at. You know, that checks out.
You know, brothels
Yeah.
kind of look like that usually.
Weird.
Yeah, you know, a lot of, you know, some nice incense, pillows, you know, rugs, probably some areas that kind of like separate themselves up, you know, just a little bit. Anyway.
Okay. Right.
You are a woman kind of approaches you that seems to kind of say like, "Welcome to the House of Clouds. Please take your time. Speak around, search. When you find someone you fancy, let them know. There are some private stuff, places in the lower deck. If you are new here, it is 5 gold for some time together."
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All
Just checking some things here. So that's all you know right now. Yeah.
Right. I had a plan, and then it took a very long time to become my turn.
So yeah.
So I've forgotten it.
Classic.
Turns out these things are a bit more in depth, each of them, of like
Yeah.
investigations.
Bribe a prostitute.
That was part of the plan. I'm looking at my skills.
Mhm.
They're not great for this. Shocking, I'm a wizard. I'm a nerd.
I really love how the book describes it. For 5 gold fee, you can retire to one of several private rooms on the lower deck for 15 minutes of low-cost bliss.
How much does it cost for one of these people to roleplay as a character from another universe for me, though?
I guess some extra. I don't even know if they'd understand that. I guess, like, anybody with knowledge planes might be like, oh, we can roleplay from one of the other planar things. I need you to be an Avoral.
I need you to be Dritz for me, alright? I really need this.
Not again.
Right. Yeah, I guess I will wander around for a little bit and then try and get an idea of who noble-looking people would go after here. Is the idea.
This is going to sound really terrible. Okay. Actually, I need 2 checks then. I need actually 2 checks. because they're going to make a difference between two different things, and you're going to judge two different things, and just one of them together really doesn't give you the picture.
Yeah.
I will need a general appraise check, because that's not checking them directly. This is kind of judging them
I'm
on
actually
their
good at that
Your
skill.
value, you're doing.
No. You're not valuing them by themselves.
I'm
You're
valuing their
valuing,
apparel.
like, maybe
in
one
that
that would
thing,
have, like,
right?
more noble patronages, might have a few more, like, baubles and stuff like that would
that's
stand
totally
out.
reasonable.
And then I would need a sense motive with that to kind of judge.
Praise
This is the
pecking
first time we've ever rolled a praise in a Pathfinder.
I
Praise
almost
was-
wanted to say appraise because it technically also would work for people that are prostitutes in a way, but I'm
Praise
not
is
going
not
to do
what
that.
I was expecting to be said.
It's the first time it's ever been asked to roll.
I can't believe this is
ever.
the first time I've ever rolled this
And the
skill
last
in
time, too.
Pathfinder. And this will be the last time I ever use it. And I have skill ranks in this.
Appraise
I'm going to press the button.
prostitutes.
That's a 22. I'm very good at appraising
Holy shit,
the
bro.
value of a
Like,
prostitute.
oh, this person, they're worth some cash, bro.
You know what it is? I'm very quiet. I do a lot of people watching.
Well,
Um,
it's more of, I presume, like the gems and the
Yeah.
Yeah,
clothing on
then
the people.
roll me a sense motive.
Oh, this
then,
is where it's going to get real bad.
Okay. Just, I'll figure out like a
Yeah,
kind of.
that's,
Okay.
you know, it's average.
11's not bad. So you do get a sense of some things. You probably don't give like a deep read of everything, though there does seem to be probably. It's hard to delineate, but like there is a general like hierarchy in it. The thing is, like, you get the feeling there are people that maybe are a little bit more popular as you're kind of like. Because you're probably going around and small talking to a bunch of them. You know, you're basically being the customer that's taking probably a lot longer to find someone. It happens occasionally, you know, someone that just can't find that great match for a while, and so you'll be taking your time, kind of like taking a look around the room, kind of like judging things, kind of like trying to read everything. So, certainly. There is one person who stands out, but they're also kind of in the room, but not part of the group. And that's the one that you expect is Helvara. The half-elf woman who is in a number of, like, who's kind of like one of those, like, kind of like a smoking pipe, and is just kind of sitting in the back of the room, kind of lounging around with a few of the others that seem to be currently not working, kind of hanging around at her. As she's also, like, drinking a drink, kind of lounging, kind of watching everything.
I will, obviously with, like, body language and eye stuff, make it known that, interested in her, kind of thing, because she's watching people.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna roll something just to see if she picks up on it. She's pretty good at this kind of thing.
It would be passing secret messages, maybe?
I'm gonna roll though.
I mean, I've never rolled that in this fucking game.
Yeah, I think that's under
The bluff, right?
bluff
To
to pass secret messages, and whether they can get that message or not is based on your success of your bluff check.
All right. You know what? Roll a bluff then, I guess. Just roll it and see how well you roll. I've rolled a number 2.
Oh, that's a 13.
13.
I don't know what the DC is for the passing secret message.
I'm going to be honest, I would have to look.
I have it up right now. It is a DC 15 for simple messages, DC 20 for complex. I would say this is beyond simple, so maybe even like just a DC 10.
Yeah, like this is one that like you're not trying to like give an actual super message. So you're like,
It's also like, what do you call it? Setting appropriate action and expectations, right?
Okay, so you'll kind of throw some stuff towards her while still, like, you know, milling about with the various people in the room. Certainly, the woman that originally talked to you will approach you after a certain point in time, like after you get up with talking with someone, and be like, "Are you having trouble finding someone that meets your tastes?"
Well, I don't know this lady's name, the one sitting there, right?
You do know her
Oh, I
name.
do.
She's the proprietress of this place, Havara.
Okay.
I'll type that in. So.
Do you have a name tag?
Does she have a hello? My name is.
Hello, my name is Joe. This is my first time at this job.
Hey, why are you using Joe?
I'm sorry, that's my default name for human D&D characters.
So wild how we have like so many
Mine's
of those.
Bob.
Mine's Steve.
My default orc is Tony.
It is Tony.
It comes up very often.
Sorry, what did this lady say to me?
Are you having trouble finding something?
Yes, the only... trying to word this to not sound like a freak, like a weirdo, but I feel like that's going to be pretty hard considering I just rolled a check to appraise people.
You're not wrong on this one. This is an interesting one.
You know, what can I say? I love women, chap. I'm a woman enjoyer.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't we all?
Yes, the only one who's caught my eye is her, and I'll kind of gesture subtly over to the, I guess, the lady who I have praised good.
So, alright. You do have certainly an eye if that's catching you, but that would be a little bit more difficult.
What would I have to do to get her time?
Well, certainly you don't seem the appearance of the type of customer that could take her time. No offense. You don't dress rich.
I will pat my very clearly full pouch of gold that I keep hidden.
If you are certain, I could see if she'd be interested in.
I would appreciate it.
Alright, she'll go over and kind of like whisper to her. She'll, of course, whisper something back to the lady in the marketplace. She'd be willing to entertain your time, but you do know that, other than perhaps a small chat, personal time with the madam is at very least 100 gold.
I can
to pay that?
easily afford that. I should also note one of my racial traits does kind of mention I have an air of nobility to me because it's the undead nobility thing.
Okay. So I think that's why like it wasn't like automatically assumed that you wouldn't, but it was sort of like also like you're not really dressed like a noble, because even nobles that come here still dress
don't wear very fancy clothing, it's true.
You'll be allowed to head over to Halvar. She will kind of like as I said, she's kind of like leaning back in these like like with this in this like pile of red cushions, kind of sitting down, kind of floor, kind of offer you a seat near her.
I will accept the seat.
No. Honestly, you're a very interesting one.
I've been told that.
So, we're a little out of the earshot of most things. What do you really want from my establishment?
I need information. And I'm willing to pay for it.
Information, you say? Well, certainly. Most of the time, the people here have very tight lips. And I am one that is not prone to loosening those. But circumstances could always change, depending on what you ask.
I 100% forgot the name of the dude we're investigating.
I got it. It's Ambassador Imperi.
I need information on an ambassador. Sorry.
An ambassador. Now, I'm not saying important people like that haven't come by, but that sort of thing is normally handled by much more important people.
Could you point me in the direction of someone who could get me that information?
I'd point you outside to the very large ship in the center of us all.
And he doesn't frequent here.
DeVargo, do you mean?
I
Or your
mean
ambassador?
the ambassador. Well, Imperi, was that his name?
Imperi, yeah.
Imperi.
Names don't come up much here. But there are certain types which can be read. What I'm saying is, information on such important people really don't go from lips without our esteemed boss of all of us having the same. Norma.
I see. Is there anything you could do for me for that regard? Perhaps arrange a meeting or something.
Certainly many people walk in the front door. But it sounds like you want to have something a little less formal. The thing is, I might have some ability to help you out here. And I could say there would be a price to it. And I could say that for certain. But I'm sure, even if I give a good word, Devara would most likely have some kind of self. And I know better than to double dip on customers. So, what is it that you could offer us here that would make it that it would be lucrative, healthy, reasonable for us to, for me, go out of my way to sugar talk Devara?
That's something I gotta think about.
We do have an inn with the city guard. Maybe we can convince them to leave this place alone for a certain amount of time.
I already kind of leave.
They
this
already
place
leave it
alone.
alone, yeah. Yeah, there's been never a
I have an
good
idea.
reason to raid this place, honestly.
Ah,
I have an idea.
Mhm.
It requires me to remember names, though, so I have to open up some kind of note document.
Dun dun dun.
I gotta find it. Where's the pins? There. I hope to God this man's name is in here, because I do not remember it. That's a loot document. That's not notes.
Mhm.
Who are you looking
which
for?
person are you thinking about?
I would basically offer, oh God, how do I say, Gadrin Lamb. I would basically say how, because he's a known, or was a known crime man.
Yeah,
Did crime.
probably even in the. This is probably the circle that would know about him more than others. Probably,
Yeah.
definitely.
Who is famously very elusive.
Mhm.
How about the services of the individuals who took down Lamb?
There had been a rumor going around about some things that were going on with the Lambs. Seem to be on their own. It's really true that that old cantankerous bastard's dead.
Yes.
Well, well, well. There might be something I found there. But I'm smart enough to know that this isn't the time or place for it. Too much is going on in the city. So, how about this? Do you have a way of swearing, of giving a collateral or something that would show that you'd be willing to make a deal with me when things calm down?
I will pull out my I'll pull out this sort of dagger that has the it's the dagger I stabbed Lamp in the heart with, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It has the guard's insignia on it.
Mm-hmm.
I will offer it. This belonged to someone very important to me, and I am very remiss to surrender any of his belongings.
I can see that. Well, that's interesting. I can talk to Var. We'll have to come back to me. I'll see what I can do.
Of course.
But for now, as one person to another that's lost things in the future, and as a sign of good faith overall, come. Perhaps I can help you forget. Just for a moment.
Alright, yeah, I'll go with her. Dude, how does it keep happening that every time in a D&D game I have sex with someone? Why does this keep happening? I didn't.
You went to the brothel!
I didn't go
choose
there
to do
intending for this, but it continues to happen in every D&D game I'm in.
You ever
I was willing
consider
to go.
it's you keep doing options that lead to that?
I guess,
outcome?
apparently.
You look, I don't have a lot on this person's
I'll
backstory,
go
but
with her,
it's relatively
you know?
tragic, like little bits I
Hey.
have. So she's like,
I'm also tragic and sad.
Yeah, but one thing is, she understood, like, your thing. So she's like,
Savona is tragic and sad and bisexual, so
Yeah. she'll give you some comfort, and then you can come back the next evening. Anyway, we'll have Ada here to finish up. I think probably evening. You're in a drug den. Anyway. The dragon's breath has been painted in incredibly gaudy red. It's obviously not the color that it really was to begin, but there's a sign on the entrance that leads it to pass into the dreams of the dragon.
Oh gosh.
this is hilariously ironic.
This is actually very ironic.
The only way this would be funnier is if this was like Yaku.
That is the only way
Look,
it could be.
I'm
more-
not going to lie. Probably has like a dragon figurehead also, So, anyway.
I sigh and walk in.
So, thick pungent smoke assails your nose as you head below deck into the interior of the ship, which is partitioned by silken curtains and filled with large beds and couches. You can see lots of people like with kind of glossy eyes lolling about and kind of just like, going like, dude, do you have any knowledge of alchemy?
I feel like I should have gone to the drug place because I actually have craft alchemy.
You chose to get
Hey,
fucked.
fair enough, am I right? Who's the real
Let's
winner
see.
here?
I have knowledge nature.
Okay, roll me nature then. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be a higher difficulty, but you might be able to help some things. Okay.
Maybe not.
So, while most of these things you probably don't understand, you probably recognize at least Flayleaf. Because it is slightly natural. Which I have to look up what it does. Flayleaf. So, oh, okay, yeah. It's being smoked, and it's a powerful sedative and hallucinogenic. So it basically gets you, like, kind of drunk on it. Oh, and you sure, you might also know there's horrible spiders that live on the plants that it's harvested from that make it very dangerous to harvest.
Damn.
Flayleaf spiders.
Christ, this
That's
place sucks.
Horrible.
Okay, flayleaf spiders apparently show up in a swarm in our CR1. So,
Dude, what the fuck?
your average commoner that's trying to like gather drugs for someone probably gets screwed over. Anyway,
That's my personal hell.
Yeah, there's other drugs there, but you know that's one you can maybe identify.
And to make it, you have to mix it with to make the drug. You have to mix it with dream spider venom.
Yes.
So another dangerous creature.
Yeah, you know, look, you know, people like their...
The truck is a Riddleport T. What a fun name.
Yeah. Anyway, so you'll be kind of like escorted to a skinny short man. Actually no, you'll kind of run into a skinny short man that's kind of like wandering about, kind of languid, you know, like kind of moving a large hookah to and fro, kind of introducing people, and he kind of goes to you, get smoked.
Get smoked.
Dude, I've met the student.
He's also
I've met the student.
Get smoked.
Also, he's only 3 foot tall.
This is just short, fat Platy.
And he's
Jesus
for a minute
Christ.
you might mistake him for a gnome or a halfling, but he's human. He's just really short.
He's just a dude.
He's just a guy.
He's
He's your average Southern
Okay.
Californian man.
there was a 5 gold entrance fee.
That's
To
a
enter
question.
here.
What do you? Oh, there's a 5 gold entrance fee.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I paid 5 gold then.
Okay. Also, please give me a fortitude save.
Oh, you're getting a contact high. Nice.
There's a lot of drugs in here, in the
Yeah,
air.
at least I didn't get...
Momo, maybe it's a good thing you didn't.
Alright!
Well, if it's
Minor.
mind affecting, I would have had a +2 against it.
I'm just gonna roll this.
Yeah?
You'll have taken 2 wisdom damage
Oh
from
my
the
God.
fumes in here.
Jesus Christ.
You're so high.
You are very high now. You're like, whoa, man! There are new colors to the world while you're in here.
Okay. Wait. So wisdom damage, is that like bad?
It takes time to recover
Yeah.
I know. But
and rest. It means effectively
It's
think of
not
it
direct-
it's a penalty to your wisdom right now. Your wisdom is too
Yeah, I know
too
that.
lower temporarily.
It's not drain. At least.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
drain's the bad
permanent.
one. Drain's the one.
Drain would
Yeah.
be
Drain's the
really
one you
bad.
cannot heal without magic. Damage's the one you can just heal over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are buzzed out of your mind right now. More than probably you've never like. Sure, I'm sure there've been like you were related to a culture that may have had something ceremonial, but like never
definitely.
like this.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Yeah.
this.
Uh-huh. Okay, can I... Well, that
Hey.
dampers the fact that sense motive is
You
not
getting
as strong.
smoked?
Yo, that's you can't take our product for free. Y'all gotta pay.
God, how do you do, fellow kids?
You're getting smoked.
I really love it. Tells me that's
This-
what he says. A
is
3
that
foot
what
tall.
It's written
Is
in the
that what it
doc.
said in the
Wait,
book?
screenshot it. Wait, you have to send that.
I'll do that
Excuse me?
later.
Okay.
Look, it tells me.
You're
The
smoked,
name is,
bro.
You'll probably be able to find out his name, but I'll put the name in
Shit,
chat.
dude.
That explains a
excuse me,
lot.
Who are you?
Bezaretti, wanders
I get
about
smoked all
languidly
day.
about the smoking room, wheeling a large hookah to and fro on a cart and muttering, "Get smoked" to anyone who enters the establishment. And it says many people that mistake the 3 foot tall Bezari for a gnome or halfling, an era sure to incite his shrieking anger and bringing several enforcers running.
You can tell when this was written.
He is.
Get smoked.
Get smoked.
Get smoked and
God damn you, mid
Mom.
2010s. God damn you, mid 2010s. Just god damn you.
Anyway. Excuse me. Who are you?
Hey, I'm Brezardy. Welcome to my place. Enjoy your stay.
I'm getting
Get smoked.
smoked.
He's offering you some hookah.
I know. Are you this friendly with everyone who?
Oh yeah, you're here to party out and just get smoked, man.
And get
I
smoked.
do not trust
smoked
this guy's memory.
doobie, bro.
If I were to even ask him.
Would you
Smoked
like a
the
Scooby
devil's
snack?
lettuce.
What?
That's him right now, bro.
What do you offer? What do you offer that
Man.
would work on a dragon?
Oh man, you're weird. Yeah, you're all like scaly, dude.
Bro, you got
Can you get
scales?
smoked? You can get smoked. We got some shiver, pesh, flayleaf, and some really good stuff if you really need a hit.
I'll. My character's just like, yeah, okay.
You're questioning life right now? You're
You're
questioning why you're here?
Yeah,
Why are we
very
here?
much so.
This place is a place.
Dude, at least I got to have sex. I didn't have to deal with this
Yeah. Yeah. Although, again, you might have been able to, like, do something here.
shit. I might not have gotten high if it's mind affecting.
I do not know if it
As
is
we all
specific
know,
drug.
undead can't get smoked.
Bro, wait, dude, you can't get high as an undead? What's the point of living?
What's the point of unliving? Dude.
Dude, wait, that was kind of deep, bro.
Oh, God.
Okay, what are the rules for mingling with other customers?
Yeah.
Oh, don't fuck here. That's her down the street.
Hey, yeah, no, man. Look, if you want to get some, that's the place, like, over nearby, you know. If you just want to get, like, smoked with some dudes and, like, get some dudes get smoked, that's okay. There's plenty of place to get smoked in here.
I'll take, how much for some flayleaf?
I would like one weed, please.
Officer, I would like one weed. Wait, sorry, I said that wrong. I mean,
No, that's definitely the
Only
vibe I'm going
one.
for.
Only one weed.
only a single gram.
Okay,
No, one leaf.
so, for a session of some flayleaf, it'll cost you another 10 gold.
Damn.
Jeez. You
Yeah,
already got a
drugs
free
you already-
session
yeah,
over there. Just hover around some more.
Drugs is expensive.
Drugs are expensive.
Yeah. I'll hand over 10 gold.
Okay.
Bro, is it Tavel with the bed? You're just getting fucking high. Like,
Yeah,
what the
only
fuck?
2 people
Man,
here have done
you
any.
notice fucking, bro? What the
Only
fuck?
2
What
people have
happened
done
to
any work.
working? What happened to working?
Only 2 people in this party have
Y'all are
done
gonna
anything
come back from
productive.
this at the end and be like,
Khandes
what?
is
These guys are
gambling,
pretty
you know,
oh my god,
Tavel's taking a nap.
Working.
Hey, I set up a meeting with the crime man.
I don't actually.
Chat.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
actually-
chat.
I'm
This
not
is
planning to
hilarious.
actually smoke. I'm just trying to get
People
in
are
here.
listen.
You
4
don't
of you are
need to, you're
engaging
already
in good
high.
vices. Listen, 4 of you are doing vices: drugs, gambling, sex, and sleeping. Obviously,
Yes.
all of these are equal.
It's 4 of the sins right there.
4 of the sins, exactly. I just found that hilarious. It makes sense. You have to participate in the thing you're going to.
Yeah, true.
To not
Yeah.
be weird.
So you'll be taken to like one of the moved over to like one of the areas where like basically something as similar to like another hookah or something will be kind of like lit with some material put into it. Looks like flame leaf. And like some of the people that are kind of there, kind of out of it, will be like, "Yeah, new hit, woo!"
Yeah, a friend named Imperia recommended this place to me. Do you know him?
Dude, you use names? I have a name.
Bro, we don't say names here because we don't want to out people.
Do I actually have a description of this guy?
Actually, none of you asked for his description.
God, he's just a man from Los Angeles. He's from LA.
I have a picture of him, so if you ever do run into him, I do have a picture of him ready. These guys I didn't have a picture of because I did not realize if he's been. I did look it up while we were doing stuff. There's the only one I was able to find a picture of was Havar.
Well, I'd be interested in that
Anyway,
picture.
yeah.
You horny bastard.
Names. Good point.
Whoa! You have a name. What's your name?
Don't forget the wisdom score is impaired, so this makes sense.
I already
This is
dug
the
mine
funniest
down.
thing.
Can I make a sense the usefulness of being here check?
Sure. Roll sense motive on the guys you're sitting with your flay leaf hookah.
That checks. That checks.
Okay.
Yep, adds
Can you
up.
also roll me perception? I just want you to roll me
I rolled
perception
a
for.
freaking 2.
Yeah. That's a little better.
Eh,
You will notice something go on after, but that just seems unusual. It looks as though when someone conks out completely, they drag him out of the area.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't take up precious real estate.
You can't get smoked anymore.
Yeah, when you're unconscious, you can't get smoked.
Or you can't
Hey,
spend any
Tavel,
more money.
at one point, you will notice someone that seems very unconscious being drugged through the hall to the down below
Nice.
by a couple of men. That will
Got
happen a few times.
smoked.
Uh-oh, bro.
Oh, that's why they call it get smoked.
that was to determine if I try anything.
Are you going to enjoy some flay leaf?
I
coward.
won't.
Okay.
I'll
Put the stick in the mud.
You want to pretend
All I hear
like
is
you
coward.
are?
yes, I will pretend to.
Alright, give me a bluff check.
Oh,
You
boy.
will have some bonuses, because I'm sorry,
They're
there's a
all-
lot of...
To
Absurdly
be fair,
high.
it's less of you all have bonuses. Holy shit. They're like, bro,
Oh,
you
God.
don't even sound high. Like, if you didn't
You're
want it,
not
why did you even
smoked.
buy
You're
it?
just gonna come back.
What is
No.
my rolls right now?
Oh, dude, no, he's gonna be like, bro, just pass it over. Don't waste it.
You're like, no, that's not how you do it. You gotta go like this, and you gotta kind of breathe deep and does it like that. Now and then he'll just breathe out the smoke into your face. See? There you get it into ya.
On save.
I do need a force save, yes.
Dude, Ada's gonna come back so fucking high.
It is not coming back, bro.
Yeah, Ada's not
Bonk.
coming back.
All
He's
right.
gonna get bonked here.
No, they're gonna get smoked.
No, true.
I dislike it.
Anyway, so congratulations, you've resisted the addiction effects, but the effects that happen you just get by being exposed to it.
Okay.
So you take another wisdom damage, and you now, for the next hour, have a +2 alchemical bonus against mind-affecting effects, and you're fatigued. And fatigue.
Okay.
Oh, no, you don't
Jesus.
get fatigued.
No.
You get a bonus against fatigue.
Makes sense.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
that's good. That's way
So,
better.
Flayleaf kind of keeps you awake a little bit, and kind of, like, you know, like, your mind is muddled, but, like, there, you know? You're like, whoa, dude, the colors!
It's like a weird upper and a downer.
Yeah.
Whatever. My character, I was just like, okay, I'm getting even more high. And I'm literally, my wisdom's going down, so my judgment's going down.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hi.
god, dude. You're getting into the high cycle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
God.
lord.
What are we playing right now? Are we playing Vampire the Masquerade?
Yeah, it's VTM now. Yeah.
Bro, this is
Someone
literally
just
Vampire.
gambling, someone's fucking, someone's getting high, it's VTM.
It literally is VTM right now. What the fuck?
Have you seen any nobles in here?
I'm a noble! Look at me go! I'm all like, dude, I'm awesome! I am the most noble of them all! Whoa! We need another hit of the stuff, man!
I'm guessing he's not a noble.
He might be.
I don't know. How about you just, listen, can you tell?
Roll
Noble
roll another sense motive.
He's a noble that got smoked.
There we go.
Alright,
There's the noble.
like, it's hard to tell because he's like messed up out of his mind. He dresses pretty decently. He might be a noble, but he is.
It's a lot of shitty
Well-
nobles.
He's
True.
probably got a little
That's
too
several.
smoked up here. Because he's the most active out of the people that are here with you. There's like two other people, and they're kind of just like, taking hits of the, Fey Leaf and being like, hey, yeah, dude,
I got smoked.
Are there any less high people around that appear to be around?
No.
I mean,
Well,
that's the whole point.
I mean, they do, like, occasionally take some people out of
There's
here.
some dudes in gas masks.
Whatever, I'll just finish what I paid for and get out.
Mm-hmm. What's your plans then?
Lucia really is the only one who did anything.
That's my plan. Finish what I paid for and get out. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing here.
Yeah.
There's the one guy who might know something is high enough to be completely useless.
Yes. Bezerati is very high all the time. He is the jug peddler that deals in his own stuff, so...
Never touched the
Yeah.
dope.
Though the enforcers, I'll tell you nicely, the enforcers do seem to be dealing with this pretty well.
You're around enough.
They're
Also-
immune to getting smoked.
Also, probably, like, there's alchemical stuff you can take to help you out. that
Yeah,
kind of thing,
or they're wearing like masks and stuff.
They've got gas masks on.
effectively. Someone's got to keep some sense around here. Bezerati is really high, but he is actually pretty sensible too, honestly. So he does keep a level of sense to it.
Yeah, but it's also like not going to be helpful. So I'm like, okay,
No!
So I'm like, okay, this was a waste.
Anyway, all right. Where are you going to then?
Me after I leave?
Yeah.
I'll let's see. Who can let's see. I could go.
Who can taste a rainbow?
Yeah.
Like, Ada's
Like,
doing
I'm
that
just
one
trying to-
already.
Should I go to Khandes or should I go to? You know what? Khandes is weird about drugs. I'm gonna go to Tavel.
You're just gonna go to the inn. You get a room.
Yeah.
So yeah, at some point in time, I'm not gonna even roll sense motive. A sort of high Ada will wander in Tavel. But why don't we worry about that next time? Next week we will have Khandes' misadventures finish up, a little bit more of Lucia, and then we'll do the re-meeting of Ada and Tavel, and then we'll see what also Vona gets up to
We
after.
can all meet
having
back
some-
up and learn that only Avona did anything.
I mean, Lucia
Or
probably is going to
Gummy.
do something.
I'm gonna do
Lucia.
something.
That's true. I felt like Tavel and Ada didn't accomplish much.
I went from.
Well,
I mean,
Tavel
I
went.
accomplished going from a
Tavel went to
+2
bed.
wisdom to a
That-
+0 wisdom.
That is an accomplishment. You got smoked.
I mean,
It's-
I mean,
God,
Tavel went to bed.
smoke.
Tavel went to the place that we knew wasn't going to be probably
True.
used.
Tavel
Well,
accomplished
Tavel
the most.
chose to go to sleep.
Tavel accomplished the most and got 8 hours of sleep.
to be fair, I also was like, well, I guess I'm going here since this is the only place left. I didn't expect this place to be useful either. I just
Well, we
took
learned
out-
never to
well,
go to that boat.
Yeah. You literally,
I already
you literally-
knew not to go to that boat. I saw what drugs could do.
So yeah, we'll leave it off here after that wonderful, wonderful thing at the end of
God damn.
getting
At least
smoked.
I didn't get addicted.
Get smoked.
Get smoked.
I couldn't believe that until I read
When
it.
you said that the first time, I'm like, what is Cheech and Chong running this
I
place?
thought you were making it up.
I thought you were too.
I
oh
will.
God.
I will actually cut out the section that talks about this and show it to you. It's in the
In-
Yeah, I really need the screenshot of it.
Oh
So
god.
dumb.
It's
Well, that was pointless.
Anyway, why don't we give some shout outs and we'll end it this week. And Joe, do you have anything to shout out?
Rah!
Sal?
Nothing. Nothing to shout out.
Lean?
Waveland went to bed.
May have dozed off post.
Oh.
Maybe.
They have
When-
work in 5 hours,
Yeah,
so
I'm not gonna dock that one, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you get tired occasionally.
I've been
Yeah.
up since 4 a.m.
So that'll do it. Momo, anything to shout out?
Yeah, watch Discussing Tabletop, because sometimes I'm on it and I have only the correct opinions. Everyone else is wrong.
That might be true. Who knows?
Especially Tantus. Tantus is always wrong.
I'm very often wrong.
Unless,
I concur.
especially about so many fucking D&D things. Holy shit.
You know, it's
More
fun as a-
correct opinions on Magic the Gathering than I have, though, because I don't really play Magic the Gathering.
You know, I gotta be right about something some of the time. And Worm.
Yeah, so far I have taken all of the pretty much all of the damage in the party
Right.
so far.
Hell yeah.
Hit point and
Hey,
Oh yeah, I got
like
stabbed. That almost killed me.
you did almost die to like a
I almost
dude with a
died.
knife, yeah.
I almost died to a crocodile. So.
You almost died to a mage's worst fear, a man with a knife.
I
That
mean,
is-
it is truly my worst enemy.
Anyway, I'm Diamondworm. You can find me on twitch.tv/Diamondworm and @Diamondworm on Twitter. 420 Blaze it, I guess.
Get smoked.
Get smoked.
Tessnar Van Dracovin. Tomorrow, probably Pathfinder, as long as everything goes according to plan. I'll talk about it. Then I'm off because of PAX Unplugged till Monday, where I'll continue more of the Dragon Warrior 4 randomizer / Dragon Quest 4 randomizer. Pretty fun. I like that. It's a Nintendo game. Still feels like a Nintendo game, but it does a pretty good job of doing stuff. Anyway, and then some more gaming the next week, and we'll do more Fallout 4 next Friday and all that stuff, and more tabletop stuff for the week. But of course, make sure to check out Discussing Tabletop. It's usually on Saturdays. I might still have it this weekend because I'm leaving Sunday up in the air. So also, I don't know if I'm being back early on Saturday. I think I'm probably going to be there on Saturday. So we'll figure it out if we're having Discussing Tabletop this weekend. If I do, it might be the same time, might be a different time. I'll let people know. I'll figure it out if it's possible. And if not, next week. But at least we're going to have this game. Should be next Wednesday, 9 p.m. normal time. Make sure to join us for more misadventures.
More vices like sleeping.
Yeah, more vices like sleep.
Well, we had sloth.
Those are the deadly
Gambling.
sins, which is
What would gambling? I guess would be greed.
Yeah.
greed, lust.
Yeah. What's get
Sloth.
smoked? What's the get smoked? It's the sin.
God.
That could
sloth,
also be
sloth,
sloth, right?
again.
Sloth again.
I don't know.
I'm googling the deadly sins to quickly look at them.
Yeah, my brain's also
I'm not
blanking on
I'm not
these.
I'm not Christian, so I don't know them.
True.
I should know them
It
because
could be gluttony. It could
Look,
be gluttony.
I'm not Christian. I've not watched Full Metal Alchemist in a decade.
Yeah,
Okay,
it-
it's probably gluttony, right? Gluttony is
thanks,
like-
thanks, Rune Lords, that I should remember them. It's
gluttony or pride?
why would drugs be pride?
I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, bye for now.
Well,
Maybe probably see you tomorrow. See you next
bye.
week. Bye.
Bye.